Just when you think the NBA news cycle gets quiet, chaos ensues. This past Friday night, we had a blockbuster trade emerge from nowhere as the New York Knicks acquired Karl-Anthony Towns and sent back Julius Randle and Donte DiVincenzo as the key assets in return. While there will be questions about how Randle fits with the Wolves roster, DiVincenzo has a skill set that will provide a huge boost and offers the Timberwolves something they were lacking this past season. I'm going to take a deeper dive into his game and show why this should be a beneficial addition to the Wolves' present and future. In the 2022-23 season with the Warriors, DiVincenzo emerged as a dangerous weapon off the catch, shooting just under 40% from deep on 5 attempts per game. Last offseason, he signed with the Knicks, and that shooting held up as he knocked down 40% of his threes on nearly 9 attempts per game, though he did this in a variety of ways. While the Timberwolves didn't push the pace in transition often, they now have a serious threat to knock down threes when they're out and running. Here the Knicks get the steal, and around half court you can see it's 3-on-3 here. But watch DiVincenzo. As Josh Hart gets downhill, he draws multiple defenders, but the 27-year-old is running with a purpose to the left wing where opponents won't have enough time to close out. Hart finds him, and DiVincenzo knocks down the open three off the catch. With someone like Anthony Edwards who attracts a ton of defensive attention, being able to knock down open threes off the catch is extremely valuable. DiVincenzo did this last year, knocking down 45% of his threes off the catch that were considered unguarded, though he's also a very dangerous shooter off of movement. Here the Knicks are getting into their half-court offense, and DiVincenzo's on the left wing. Though as Deuce McBride puts the ball on the floor, look at DiVincenzo. Two Knicks are in position to set screens, and DiVincenzo utilizes them sprinting to the left corner. The Nets can't get there in time, and he makes them pay with the corner three. On top of the shooting, DiVincenzo's also capable of creating shots for himself and others in a pinch. Outside of Edwards, this skill was something the Timberwolves noticeably lacked this past postseason. Right away here, DiVincenzo receives the ball on a handoff, and given his threat as a movement shooter, he's a risk to take the three here, though instead he attacks the closeout. As he drives the baseline, not only has he drawn the attention of multiple defenders, but OG Anunoby's cutting in from the left side of the perimeter. DiVincenzo realizes and drops it off to him for an easy dunk. DiVincenzo also had success creating for himself out of pick and roll this past year, but there could be some regression in store. While he's certainly a threat to shoot off the dribble, this past season he knocked down over 50% of his mid-range jumpers, and traditionally has had some struggles finishing around the rim. The Timberwolves established a strong defensive identity this past year, and DiVincenzo should fit into that nicely. He competes on that end of the floor and does a nice job defending on the ball against players his size. The 27-year-old is also a consistent threat in passing lanes, as he averages 1.2 steals per game for his career. Here DiVincenzo's defending off the ball, and his assignment gets the ball on a handoff. Though after DiVincenzo tries working through the screen, he's off balance, and it looks like a potential advantage for the Magic. While the pass isn't great here, he does a nice job of recovering to get back into play and steal the ball. Right from the start, this possession looks like a mismatch, as Zion Williamson has a clear size advantage posting DiVincenzo up, though he does his best to hold his own until the entry pass, and when that's thrown, he displays the quick hands to knock the ball free before it can get to Williamson. Despite the ability to generate steals, it can come with some gambles from DiVincenzo. This starts with Pascal Siakam in isolation, and DiVincenzo's defending Tyrese Halliburton. Though Siakam starts going downhill, DiVincenzo briefly leaves Halliburton to take a swipe at the ball. However, Halliburton relocates to the left wing, and by the time Siakam makes the pass, there isn't enough time to recover. The all-star guard knocks down the open three, and the gamble doesn't pay off. Here's an instance where the Pistons are operating out of pick and roll. DiVincenzo's assignment is playing off the ball, and he tags him as he goes to wait at the left elbow, though the Knicks in this freeze frame appear to be in a decent spot. Cade Cunningham's doubled, there is a defender between a rolling Jalen Duren and the basket, and the Knicks are playing off a non-shooting threat in the right corner. Though as Cunningham looks Duren's way, DiVincenzo immediately tries to jump a potential pass. That's a decision he'll regret, as Cunningham kicks it to a wide-open Simone Fontecchio, who knocks down the three despite DiVincenzo's effort to recover. So what should we expect out of DiVincenzo in Minnesota? At the least, he's going to be the first guard off the bench, and it wouldn't be surprising if he plays 30 minutes a night and is asked to play in closing lineups for the Timberwolves. While it's tough to lose an incredibly skilled shooter like Towns, the Wolves have another big and reigning sixth man of the year in Minnesota cult hero Naz Reid, who is more than capable of stretching the floor. Now they have another guard who can do the same, whether it's off the catch or dribble, while also being able to provide some playmaking on a nice contract. That's a huge deal given the new CBA. While the Timberwolves might not reach the same heights as last season, they acquired a player in DiVincenzo whose skill set should be a nice complement to Anthony Edwards, both this year and going forward, to remain competitive in a grueling Western Conference. If you made it this far, thank you, and if you enjoyed the video, don't hesitate to like and subscribe to stay up to date on my latest basketball analysis.